Hi guys, today I want to show you how to make this copper dragonfly card using Stampin' Up! Products. This card features one of Stampin' Up's new Designer Series paper. This is the Falling in Love Designer Series paper set from the new Occasions catalog. If you haven't got your hands on one of these, you need to soon. You only have till May to place an order. Some of these products are not going to be sticking around. But this beautiful Designer Series paper set is found on page 51. It's only 11 bucks and has 12 sheets, 2 each of 6 different designs. I don't know if you guys can see that. It was originally designed to be kind of a Valentine's feel set, but I think a lot of these would be really good for just about any occasion, including like a girl's birthday would be really pretty on the pink, or like a wedding card with the lace. So it's just a really, really nice set, and I think it coordinates really well with the copper. So this card also is using another one of the new things from the Occasions catalog, and that is the Dragonfly Thinlits. Right there, dies. So 31 bucks, 5 different really cool dies. There's a coordinating, oh, zoom out, okay. There's a coordinating stamp set as well, which you can also purchase as a bundle. So this is just a really cool set. I've seen a lot of really great projects with this one. So let me also show you that in person here. I have my Dragonfly bundle. So they actually look a little bigger than you might guess. It's the biggest one. But I love just how detailed it is with all of those pieces. Now, if you're like me and you see a die that has all these tiny pieces, you're thinking, oh, that is going to be a pain to punch out if it doesn't cut through. So I'm going to give you 2 quick tips with the framelits that I have found just help me so much. So the first one is the Stampin' Up! Magnetic Platform. Now, if you buy a Big Shot through Stampin' Up!, it does come with your standard platform, which will work and cut out thinlits. Not always crisply, depending on the thinlit, but I absolutely love the Magnetic Platform. First of all, it's really easy to use. It's got that guide right there on it. But the other thing I really like is that it's magnetic, like the name. So you just stick one platform down. I'm going to, my example here. You take your paper, just any kind of paper, and you stick the thinlit on top, and it doesn't move. It stays on there because that magnet holds it, so it's not going to go anywhere. So I absolutely love this, and especially if you're trying to cut out something that you've previously stamped, say, like a dragonfly. It makes it so much easier to cut it out with that outline and not worry about it shifting as you're running it through the Big Shot. So really, really awesome. Totally love the Magnetic Platform, only 40 bucks, and I have definitely, as you can tell, used it quite well. The other thing I would definitely recommend for any of the detailed thinlit dies that have just a lot of things that, you know, tiny pieces to punch out, is Stampin' Up's die brush. Now, this is one of those products that I saw and I was like, I'm not going to use that. That seems silly, but boy, guys, I use this all the time. Now, how this works is, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, there's these little tiny bristles. So you run this through the Big Shot and it's got your dragonfly paper stuck all in there. Sometimes they'll automatically pop out, but sometimes they'll be like those tiny little pieces, like that one, that'll just be stuck in there. And unless you want to kind of poke it out with your finger, which takes forever, you can take the brush and those tiny little bristles pop out in those little holes. See the little tiny holes in there? So they're made to, when you run it over, pop out all the little pieces of paper on the other side. And this little foam, thin little foam mat, you just stick it down and you just roll it over there. Kind of medium pressure, and it pops everything out, and it is so quick and easy. So if you're doing a bunch of dragonflies, like for this card or workshop, this die brush, definitely worth it. It just saves you so much time when you have just those tiny, thin details. So definitely love my die brush, love the Magnetic Platform, something not to miss. All right, so I've got the Falling in Love Designer Series paper, which I'm sure you're already falling in love with. The other thing that we used in this card and of course I've mentioned Copper Dragonflies, is the new copper foil paper. Now I don't know if this is going to be true to color on the video. Lighting in my craft room is not the best, but it is an absolutely gorgeous copper tone 12 by 12 sheet. And it comes in 2 in a pack, $4, so $2 a sheet. And you know, copper is very in right now. And I just love how well it coordinates with the Falling in Love paper set. So this is from the holiday catalog. It's carried over. It'll probably stick with us for a little while. And there's also some embossing paper as well that goes with this. Okay, so now let's get to our sizes and measurements. So first off, for the card base, I used the Whisper White, but because I used it as a card base, I used the thick weight Whisper White. So there's both the standard cardstock size, and then there's also a thick, which is a 100-pound weight. Oh, my camera's shaking. I'm sorry about that. 100-pound weight, so it's a lot thicker and makes for a better card base than just the standard. I know it's kind of one of those things that's hard to show how thick it is on a video, but it is definitely better for a card base than just the standard. But 24 sheets, $7, great deal. So then I cut one of our pieces from the Fallen in Love at 5 1/4 by 4 for the background. Okay. And then the little strip is another piece from that set at 5 1/2 by 4. Now this strip could be any width you want. I was just kind of using some scraps. Okay. And then our copper background piece is going to be 3 1/2 by 3. And the little white that's going to be on top, let's see, stick that there, is 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. And then I also did just another piece of copper scrap. And this one I didn't do a tag for because it's so small, but it's at 1 inch by 4. So it's the same height as your background paper. Okay, so one thing I did want to show you guys real quick before getting started is this cool trick I learned. I can't really remember who I learned it from, and I kicked myself that I didn't learn it sooner. Is whenever you're doing something with the nicer quality paper, the gold foil, the glimmer paper, you don't want to necessarily do a big square and then glue it behind, because all you're seeing is that tiny little edge, and honestly you have just all of this behind that you can't see that's just wasted. So it was suggested to me, and I absolutely love, is to basically cut out the center. So for this one, what I did is after I cut it to size, I went ahead and ran it through my Big Shot in that magnetic platform sandwich that we just talked about, and cut out my dragonfly for the center. Now I know you're wondering, oh, but you're going to see it when you glue it down. No, you don't see it at all because Stampin' Up! Paper is so nice quality and thick. Now just provided that you don't cut it too close to the edge, but I mean this is a very thin edge, so you should be good because he's just centered on there. So great way to maximize your copper paper and just make it a little more efficient. I mean, I could even cut a section there too if I wanted. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I've got sticky notes everywhere. Let's go ahead and start putting this together. Move my sticky notes all out of the way. So I've got my thick card base. I'm going to fold in half. Now I pre-cut and scored this. There we go. And where is my little cut out dragonfly? I just had him. Oh. Problem with stuff all over the craft room, you misplace it. Okay, there we go. There he is. Ta-da! Dragonfly. Oh, here we go. Good example. So this one that I just pulled out of my stack, you can see there's still tiny little pieces that aren't popped out. Can you see that? Because I prepped a whole bunch of these and I was in a hurry. So there's a few that are still. So I'm going to just really quickly, for example purposes, grab my die brush just to show you guys what I meant a second ago. Because you can see how tiny those are. And yes, I mean, I could fingernail and pop them out because they are just very loosely in there, but that takes a while. And I mean, I could also get my little push pin, which I just save in case, and pop them out too. But this is so much faster, and you just roll it over, do a couple different directions, just to be sure it gets in there, and it just pops those pieces out. So that's so much quicker. Just roll it over. Just make sure you go more than one different direction, and it just pops those guys out. Now it's a little easier to do if it's still in that metal. I'll see, that one wants to be stubborn on me while I'm recording, of course. Oh, I lost my train of thought. It is easier to punch out if it's still in the metal framelit, but I mean, you can still do it just, you know, on here. So very quick. Oh, missed one right there. So this is just way more efficient to use the little die brush. Okay, so we'll just move on from there. Okay, so this is, once you have all your pieces, just quite a quick card to do. And I like the white card base because you don't have to worry about a center on the inside. As you can see, the others just as pretty too. So white card base, definitely easier for, you know, writing a note. Okay. I'm going to line it up so I have that nice little edge all the way around. Just like that. Okay. And then I've got my little piece of copper. Now, yet again, another way to maximize your copper. I mean, you could go a full piece to kind of border it, but I just kind of like this, just a little scrap. We're just seeing that edge, so, you know, it doesn't have to be the full length of the paper. So this is another one that's just kind of maximize that copper. That. And you could do the same techniques with any of our other foil paper. We've also got gold and silver. Okay. Just fold it and line it up for this one, so you still have that edge popping through. I'm going to do my white on top of copper cutout, just like that. If I have anything with a thin edge I'm trying to line up, I do prefer using the multi-purpose liquid glue because it gives you a little wiggle time. So you can see, well, the dragonfly doesn't really show up, especially after you glue them down. Now you can do them flat, but you guys know me, I love my dimensionals. You can never have too many dimensionals. So do just one in each corner to kind of pop him up. You could also stick one underneath your dragonfly if you want him to pop up as well. But because he is so thin, if you are going to stick a dimensional behind your dragonfly, you're probably going to want to use like the little edge piece or cut one in half, because his body is just a teeny bit too big for the standard size. It's a little tight of fit. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to peel that off. Backings away. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Stick that down just like that. Now, I am not perfect. I make mistakes, and you can see I got glue on my pad. So look at there, it's got a little glue on it. But the fun thing about Stampin' Up, and when you're doing projects like this, is you can cover it up. So this is a real world moment. So what I'm going to do, instead of straight on, was going to be my example. Now for gluing the dragonfly, you don't need to really mess with the wings at all, and not even necessarily the body because it's so thin. I just hit a little glue right there in the center. I don't know if you can see white on white. Right there on the center of his body to get him. But because I've got this kind of sticky gluey spot right here that I messed up, I'm not going to center it. Do a little on his belly. I'm going to kind of off-center him just like that to cover up my mistake. Now the other, and I'll probably stamp something here just to kind of make it have more sense. But what's also nice about this one is you can kind of fold up the wings a little bit, if you can see that. There you go. Ta-da! So it looks like he's kind of flying off the page, which is a really fun thing with this stamp set. The other thing, so say it dries and I'm still just not feeling that little glue spot, which I think it dries pretty fast. Yeah, it's good. So Stampin' Up! Also sells, and I don't talk about this very much, but I do use it quite regularly, and this is an adhesive remover. So this is really good if you have like a little glue spot or something in a place and you just want to get rid of it. Now, I don't know if you can see that glue spot very easily. Yeah, there it is. Okay, see right there. So with this, it's just kind of like a giant rubber eraser. And you rub it over, oh, sorry if the camera's shaking a little bit. You just rub it over the glue and it just will pick it right off. So very nice, especially if you tend to be a little messy with your projects. It's all good. We've got a tool for that. See, that's not there anymore. So 2 other fun, simple tricks with your cards. So I'll probably just stamp something there, and the off center will look like it was on purpose and nobody will know the difference except for the few of you that watch my video. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Copper Dragonfly card, and hope you check out my video next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any videos. Thanks guys. Bye-bye.